Hi, my name is Jennifer Stafford. I work with CRTPO. I think I know most of you. I'm going to turn my camera off shortly, but I wanted to give you a video that you can use when you are um, using the database. And so the purpose of the database that we're handing out to our members is to store your unfunded bike ped and potentially your roadway and intersection projects. So I have created the database that you see in front of you on the screen for CRTPO's internal use. And in doing that, it came clear to me that there was probably sections of the database that could be used by the local towns. And I want to show you the part that I've pulled out from this database that you see to what you can use in ways that you can use it. So in the email that you are seeing, the video link should be a front end and back end to the database that we're handing out. And let me show you, first of all, on how that's connected, because if you need to refer back to the video at any point, this is probably the point that you'll need to do. So I want to do this really early. So again, I'm going to shut my camera off just for convenience of not being distracted, and so you can see the full screen. So I'm going to close my database, and you will receive an email that looks probably something like this. I don't know if I'll zip it. I'll probably just do an email with these two attachments. They're pretty small. This is not exactly what you're going to get because I have some fake projects in here, and I wanted to just show you that in the demo. So the database that you will receive will be totally clean of anybody else's projects, and you can just start fresh. So the database has a front end and a back end. So the way I think of the front end is sort of the form. First of all, I should say this is on Access. I hope you have the Microsoft Suite already. I do believe that if you don't, you can buy an Access program pretty inexpensive. So I hope this works for you. It's not a huge cost. CRTPO spent somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,000 to $1,500 to pull out this part of the database. So there is some value to it, and I sincerely hope you all use it and find it helpful. So again, there's a front end, a back end. The front end, think of it as the form. The back end is where the raw data is kept. So the first thing that I would recommend you do, and I'm going to go off screen a little bit on this, but hopefully you can still see, is put it on your desktop. So I'm simply going to drag these front end and back end over, and hopefully I can see where that went to. So I'm going to put these together up here so you can see them. So there's the back end. Here's the front end. And so what I'm going to do here is go to the front end. I'm going to hold the Shift key down and double click on it. And I would strongly recommend keep the Shift key holded, but I was going to say I'd strongly recommend keeping these on your desktop. Now the back end can be put onto a shared drive. The front end should stay on your desktop, but if you want to share this with others, put the back end on a shared drive, send out the front end to other people. You should be able to use it at the same time. When I was in CDOT, I had a similar database, and there were several people in it at the same time. So I still have the Shift key held down, and I'm going to go to External Data and then Link Table Manager. Okay, so I've let the Shift key up now. And you will see in this one, you might see this funny link as well, and it might be confusing to you, but this is from our consultant. So just go ahead and select all, and then relink. And now you're going to go and you're going to find the back end. So we know on mine, it's this one right here. It's, I've got it sorted. So I double click on this, and it's really easy here to click yes, but I want you to click no. So get that right. And if you don't get that right, it'll trip you up when you go to relink, I believe. So you might delete what you've just put on your desktop and just recopy them and move them over. So let's see, I've done that. So now I'm just simply going to close it. So I relinked, I clicked no, and I'm going to close it. I'm going to close this. And then I'm going to come back to this front end and open the program. So you should be seeing this. This is the navigation page. Again, this database is for your use. We don't expect any reporting back from it. It's 100% a gift to you. If you would like to go through and customize it, if you have an access expert on in-house, great. You can put your logo here, maybe add a few more reports, that type of thing. If you do need some help with a consultant, when I send you the manual, you'll see that our consultant's name. She's $70 an hour. She's super efficient. She could customize some of these things for you in a handful or less hours. I mean, she is super efficient. So I can't say enough great things about her. For $70 an hour, you know, for a couple $100, you can get a lot tweaked here. So this is the administrative navigation page. If you want a user's page, the user's database would just have the two far left fields in it, but I think for most of you just want to use the administrative. So the administrative, you can add records, whereas if you're just a user, you can just view them. So I mainly use this button over here, all projects, under the data entry, edit forms, all project details. And let's just open something up. And so, like I said, I have a bunch of test records in here, but let's show you what you can do. So over here, there is a GIS place. So if you're tracking your projects, your unfunded projects or funded projects through GIS, and you want to later map them, you can do that. And also, you can get fancy and tie this database to GIS using a Python script. And that's sort of above my skill set, but we do have people at the City of Charlotte that could maybe help you with that. There are some categories here that I've placed in the database for you, but I will show you, you can actually edit these. So if you want to have something a little bit more specific, so we have a place for greenways, non-thoroughfares, ped safety, planning, study, roadway, and thoroughfare sidewalks. So again, you can track all your unfunded or funded projects. Just make this as easy for you as possible. The project name is important. So this one is a little bit long, but you'll see this map button over to the far right, and it looks at the project name. So if you keep this project name a little bit streamlined, when you push the map button, it'll map your project. And this one, because I've got construct complete street, let's test it. I don't think it's going to give me a real good map, but sure enough, it does get us to Indian Trail, I believe. Yeah. So you know, it's so, but like I said, if you put in a decent name here, especially if it's an intersection or the name of the street, here's some limits. So if you're doing a sidewalk, say on Providence, you know, Providence Long Road, you want to know where that is. If you're tracking funded projects, you can certainly put the phase here. I suspect many of you will use this for unfunded projects. So that will be super helpful. And this might be a little bit redundant, but in intersection, what's your improvement type? And the reason why this is a little bit redundant, you've got category and improvement type. It's just an extra sorting feature. None of these fields need to be used. It's sort of an optional. Again, you've got something like council approved or unfunded. These boxes can be edited. So if you want something else written in there. Federal project, yes or no, again, another box that's sort of optional for you to use. But if you do have some grant funds or something like that, it might be kind of nice to be able to sort through these and find them real quick. When were the funds approved? Again, probably what I would suggest to do is take the database manual and handwrite or type in it how you're using some of these labels. So funds approval date, that might be your board or council award date, or I'm not sure how you want to track that, or maybe it's a budget date or something like that, but those are options for you. Your project manager, here again, I'm trying to make a database that is user friendly for all of our jurisdictions. So you probably won't even end up using this, but you can delete all the other jurisdictions, or if you have a project that does spill over into others, you can do that. And again, the same for the county, you're not going to need to fill this out every time. So something like this, the lady we use could help slim that out. Now that if you end up needing to use our database lady, Margaret Reese, she will charge you. So this is an extra add-on from CRTPO. In saying that, if there's a glitch in the program, she will fix that at no cost for CRTPO, and I'll send out new front end. So I haven't found any glitches. She has done quality control for the last week. She's really trying hard to make sure there's no glitches because it's going to so many people. Down here on the bottom, you can add your project notes. So, you know, when you anticipate it going to construction or even starting, that type of thing. Up here, there's a project description, you know, more about it's a complete street project, you know, that type of thing, maybe the length. So here in the features part, this is how CRTPO scores their bike ped projects. And so this is optional how you're going to use this. You can either use something like this to help score your projects. So on your long list, say you have 100 projects that are all unfunded, and you're trying to figure out which ones you should bring up next in your cycle. You can develop some criteria off this. So you can pick and choose which boxes you want to use, or maybe use all of them. If you use all of them, when it comes time to apply for grants with CRTPO, you'll have the total points. Again, you'll have to think about how to use this, and I would recommend in the manual you handwrite or something, how you're using this, so you use it the same way each time. So local priority is, again, a CRTPO requirement, but a way you could use this box is maybe this is a board priority and it doesn't really score that high or something like that. So there should be a yes, no option. Critical opportunity, the way we look at this is, say there's a roadway project about ready to start or intersection, and there's a really good opportunity to do some sidewalk work and maybe even as a bid alternate or something like that. And it's sort of now or, you know, you don't want to go back and have to cut up a brand new road. So that's how we look at critical opportunity, is should it really be done ASAP type thing. And if you choose that, you will see these scores. When I click the save record, these scores will populate again. The project readiness, is it sitting in design? Again, with City of Charlotte, when we rank our unfunded projects, it is certainly looked at what phase the project's already in. The connected facilities, you know, what's going on around there. Let's see, I don't want to go into detail on all of these. The adopted plans, is it county, regional? Okay, these just help you score higher. But again, you need to think about how you're going to use that internally. And then so you can go through the rest of these. These efficient use of funds, amount requested, local match. So these three boxes here really do tie with CRTPO, but there might be a way that you can use these. Definitely, if you're going to apply for grant funds, you can use these, but you might be able to figure out a way to use these boxes. And then up here's the destination type. CRTPO limits to 6 destination types. Again, this is great stuff, and you can go ahead and change these. So if you're at a retail center and you're within biking, you'll get X amount of points, and this will really help you rank your projects. And so if I save the record, it calculates the points. So just wanted to show you that. Over here on the far right, I don't know if you can see my mouse, but there's a criteria guide that links to CRTPO scoring. Excuse me. So you can refer back to this and see how we're scoring things and see if that works for your jurisdiction. So that's a lot on this page. So you will come in, you will add a record. Let me just put something in there or it might not save correctly. And so then you would save it. It's going to default back to the last record that you've done. If you need to go in there and edit, you just click edit, make your edits, and then save it again. Speaking of saving, you do not need to use the save button up here. This is programmed to save itself. Matter of fact, I've been told not to use the save button. So just go ahead and use the database. It'll auto save in the background, probably what it's doing right now. And then it will save when you close it as well. So if you need to delete a record, go ahead and delete it like that. And I think it just defaulted to the very last record down here on the far right. On the bottom far left, excuse me, you'll see the number of records in the database. So let me close this tab. Again, that was the all projects detail. If you go into data sheet project details, you will get a list of all of your projects. Now, this is a dangerous form because if you edit in here, you are changing the records permanently. So this is great if you're adding new records. You can use these fields and it works very much like Access. So you can come in here and sort through that type of thing, but be very, very careful. You probably want to get real comfortable with adding projects in this manner first. That's what I would suggest. These middle ones are how you can come in and change your categories. So you remember in the at the very beginning, if you want to tweak some of these, delete them or add your own, go ahead and do that here under categories. And you just want to add, edit, or delete. Hopefully it's pretty straightforward. Current phase, again, add, edit, delete. You pay attention to what she's writing up here. So these sort orders do matter. You want to keep unfunded up here at number 1. Improvement types, jurisdictions. So come in here. If you're the town of Marvin, delete everybody else if you want to, or don't use those fields. It's up to you. The statuses, I don't know if you'll have suspended, you might, denied, you might have that too. So I don't know. I wasn't sure what all you need. So on the far left, is some filtering, and this is sort of the powerhouse of the database. So I click that, and again, I get this sort of Excel looking sheet, and this is all of your projects. So if you have been asked by your board to find all of your unfunded projects that have a high safety need, you can come in here and just find them and maybe move them up top to your list of projects that need to be completed ASAP. So this is powerful. You can easily export it. You can drag these around. So if you're not, I can do this here. If you want categories to be moved, just drag it. Sometimes I find this easier just to do in Excel. So if you want to use Excel, you just export it into Excel. You can do a save sort and a save filter. I haven't used these too much, but if you do find yourself needing to do the same type of sorts, I would try to play with that just a little bit. So every field in the data entry is sortable except for these text, project description, and the project notes. So this is, again, super helpful. It could be that you do a save sort where you're hiding the points. I could see that. You really just want to know all the project readiness. You don't care so much about the points. So something like that. So again, to export it, just click the export button, and here you are in Excel, and you can go ahead and save that. Let's see, I think we're sort of wrapping up here. All project details, these are some reports that you can do. And again, you might want to add to these. There's quite a few records in here. There's 122 records. It doesn't usually take this long, so I'm not sure what it's doing, but not too bad. So here's the first record that we were looking at, and it's just a nice summary. You can send this to a PDF if you want to make a record of it. And then there's all of them. There's my yellow brick road sidewalk project. So, unfortunately it spills into a couple pages, but that's just the way it goes. And then there's so these are unfunded project rankings. You can go through, and what your category is, you can pull here. So if you just want Greenway, she's told you right here, you just put G for Greenway. For the demonstration, I'm just going to hit OK. That will show all the records. Okay, I want to show you this, and I had updated it, but I deleted my program. So this should be in the manual, and I should have practiced this before. You want to hit use specific printer, and then I think it's Adobe. So what I'm trying to do is, we'll have this in the written description. So it's spilling into 2 pages. And shoot, I'm sorry, I should have made sure this was gonna work right. So you should be able to print this and see in your rankings, but let me give it one more try since I have you, because I know this is in our manual because I had a problem with this last week. Pretty sure it's page setup. Automatically select printer. Maybe it's this one. And then I feel like I need to change the Ugh. Oh, I know. There it is. We need tabloid. Tabloid, let's see. There it goes. All right, so let me do that again. Page setup, columns, page, and then click this use specific printer and tabloid. Hopefully the program will come to you and it will already do that, but I'm not so certain it will. So in order to see everything. So here's your unfunded ranked list, and she's got it broken down into categories. So again, if you just want to see greenways, these thoroughfare, non-thoroughfare sidewalk projects won't show up. But here's all of your score criteria, depending on which ones you want to use. Again, you just need to be consistent, so you're scoring consistently, and then it ranks the projects. And so again, this is showing all the categories, so you'll see rankings. This is greenway rankings. This first one is thoroughfare rankings, etc. Then you have the estimated cost. So if your board or city manager wants to know what is the total cost of all of your unfunded projects, you can come in here and go to the very last page and you'll see it's 7.7 million. Okay, chances are it's not that low, but so this can be super helpful. You can also find that number by coming to your filter and going to and the estimated cost. Let's just pull out the blanks. And if I exported this to Excel, that should be 7 million as well. So super powerful. So I'm glad we got that fixed. I think that's basically it. If you have questions, feel free to email me. Again, if you would like to reach out to Margaret Reese, her phone number's on the manual. The manual is super comprehensive. So if you get stuck, I'm sure the answer is probably in there. But I also realize sometimes it's just easier to email me and we can share screen or something like that. If you'd like to use her to make some tweaks, you can reach out to her. She's told me to tell you her hourly rate is $70, which is awesome. I've been working with her for a couple of years. If she thinks something's of her fault, she will not charge you. If you're asking her to do something that she's never done before in Access, she will probably not charge you for that either, because she uses extra time to learn it. She thinks that's a benefit to her, and it's a win-win for everybody. So with that, I will close. Sorry, I rambled a little bit, but hopefully you found this helpful. I sincerely hope you use this database. Again, track your unfunded or funded projects. If you want to add your roadway projects in there, you can certainly do that here. And you will not have all the scoring, but at least you're not having a separate spreadsheet for listing all of your unfunded projects. So with that, thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy this program, and we'll talk to you real soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.